Hey everybody, welcome to another .p counterattack. I feel it every time this music comes on.
I feel like jets should fly by.
I feel like I need to be like holding a flare dramatically in the air with like a shirt that's all ripped up.
Bruce Willis needs to come in.
Some fighter jets to let him know that I've cleared the area.
And it's been cleared. Welcome to Counterattack.
But this is also the Dota 2 7.04 patch notes review.
Yes, it is.
With me and Roland. That's right. You don't get no 5K analysis except for the 5K analysis that Ursi and Proud bestowed upon us before we did this so that we wouldn't.
But according to Melons, the 5Ks are the biggest problem he has with people. He's like, those fucking 5Ks think they know everything. They don't know shit.
So as far as I'm concerned, which real quick, by the way, well done, sir. Great interview.
I cringed.
It was a good interview.
I re-listened to it, which is very rare. It's probably the third time I've ever listened to anything Defense of the Patients, to be honest with you. I don't even know if Theorycraft Thursday does a good job or not, to be honest with you.
I think they do.
I don't listen to their show.
Yeah.
But I re-listened to that, which felt super like weird.
It feels egotistical. Yeah, that's how I always feel when I re-listen to it.
Listen to it, and I felt like I flubbed big time.
No, I thought you did a great job. I thought you went down. So Roland had a cover for me. I had an emergency come up, and I couldn't make that interview, which was painful. And now I'm hearing the one-on-one music in the background.
I know, my bad. I meant to mute that.
Speak of the devil. So Roland covered for me. You went down a path with questioning that I thought got some way more entertaining stories out of him than I probably would have when you went back to double back and touch on his door-to-door sales gig. That was awesome. Like, I probably would have just bypassed that and been like, it's something he doesn't want to talk about. But you hit him up on that, and we got the door surfing story out of it. I mean, I thought that was all funny.
Yeah, and then his mom was like, I didn't know about the door surfing. I don't know. I did door-to-door sales, so I was curious.
Yeah, no, it's the point of, it's a good, it's a reason to have other people on.
I feel like it's a good character training to knock on a stranger's door and ask them to buy your product.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Like, it's pretty ridiculous. Like,
yeah, it definitely is.
I don't like it when the pizza guy knocks on my door. I'm like, God, just set it inside. Don't knock on the door. Just open the door and put it inside, please.
Yeah, just,
like Home Alone style. Maybe. Like, I just put the money out. You take it. You give me my pizza. Don't knock on my door, please, because then my dog barks. And, Yeah. But, yeah, I thought
it was a good interview, though. I thought it was a great interview. I was glad.
I felt like you were a lot more prepared than I was.
Well, you had those questions. You were good. You hit a good chunk of them, and it was I liked it. It was a great interview. So, but like Melon said, thankfully you don't have to listen to that 5K garbage. Give you this.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what he said. Do you remember exactly what he said?
I don't. I just remember
he said something about like 5Ks are like the worst because they think they know everything, but they don't. Yeah. They can't execute shit or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And then the 4Ks were better because at least they knew.
At least they knew they were
bad.
Yeah, but 5Ks think they're not bad.
So you heard it here, Ursi and Proud. I'm sorry. Melons thinks you guys are garbage.
Well, they are to Melons. You know what I mean?
But so we're gonna
provide. I called him Kyle.
The best analysis we can of these patch notes. It's a relatively small patch. I'm only like 20 or 30 minutes into what was the like 2.5 hour 703 update. So and like it's one of those podcasts that have been like going back that Ursi and Proud did that I've been like trying to listen to whenever I'm done listening to like my current news podcasts and that stuff.
I don't like podcasts.
Yeah, I love podcasts.
I don't like it as a medium. I really don't.
Yeah, you're great advertisement.
I'm just like, hey, honesty's the best policy.
This is #TryPod month, by the way.
Really?
Like, yeah, the industry is like, we probably should have mentioned it a couple of times before now, but like this has been a big.
That was my biggest hang up with .p is like initially starting. It's like nobody listens to podcasts because I don't listen to podcasts.
1 in 5 Americans listens to podcasts, which means there are still 80% of this country that don't. And I'm sure those figures are comparable, worldwide. So yeah, if you guys are listening to this, this is #TryPod month.
But when I figured out that all I have to do is like blah 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 into this microphone, then like I was like, yeah, I could probably do that. That's
like
not too
you in
hard.
normal life. Yeah.
Rather do that than knock on a door.
Yeah.
And blah 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 blah. So yeah. Okay.
So anyway, so if you recommend a podcast, recommend this podcast, recommend any podcast to a friend who doesn't listen to it, like old Roland here.
Don't you dare
I've been
recommend
trying to get
any
him
podcasts.
I've been trying to get you to listen to other podcasts. There are good podcasts out there.
I'm a visual
you would
learner.
thoroughly enjoy.
I'm a visual learner.
There are some podcasts you'd get a kick out of.
I don't listen to things.
You should listen to Common Sense by Dan Carlin.
I drive silently.
I know, because you're a psychopath.
I know. This has been brought up before. I don't listen to music when I drive. I literally drive in silence because it's a great time to think. Mm-hmm. It really is. Some of my best ideas have been driving silently.
Wouldn't want to be alone in the car with just Roland in his thoughts.
Thursday came out with me driving silently. Yeah. Okay? I mean, not that that's a good idea or even a good show, but I mean, that came out from me driving silently.
Okay, so we're going to delve into the 704 patch notes before we delve into this week's counterattack. So bear with us as we try to run through these patch notes. So first up, item changes. Hurricane Pike recipe increase from 250 to 500.
That's a pretty big deal. Hurricane Pike already felt like, I don't know, anytime I play Sniper or OD or any of those, it feels like you got to get Hurricane Pike right off the bat, but it's a bitch. It takes a long time.
It's a bitch to get that Force Staff, but once you get the Force Staff and the Dragonlance together, it was always a relatively quick upgrade to snag the Hurricane Pike.
Sure.
And you know, it really... I think there's a direction that Valve is going with like these decreases in the early tower gold and like increasing the importance of early game gold and how efficiently you utilize it. I mean, beforehand for 250 gold, you got to free up an inventory slot and grab that Hurricane Pike.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like this is a step in that direction where they want you to. It needs to be a little bit harder in their minds.
250 for a recipe is pretty cheap for the size of item it is. And next would be Silver Edge recipe increase from 300 to 500. Totally makes sense to me here because if I was planning on getting a Silver Edge and I was, say, in the fountain, I just buy the Silver Edge recipe and just put it in my backpack. Because it's 300 gold. It's just so cheap. It's just like whatever.
Right. But I think those two kind of go hand in hand with where they're trying to guide the meta.
Whereas now I may spend, which Ultimate Orb just got upped by 50 gold, but whereas now maybe I'm going to weigh like, no, I'll get the recipe after I get the Ultimate Orb because it's now 500 gold. Yeah. It feels like there's a big difference between 300 and 500.
So you're looking at beforehand to upgrade that Shadow Blade to a Silver Edge, it was 2,400 gold and now it's 2,650.
Yeah.
So, right? Is that... Yeah. So, I mean, a 250 gold increase on it.
Yeah, which is not insignificant. The Ghost Scepter cooldown reduced from 25 to 20. I feel like is Valve saying, please use this item. It's actually really good against a ton of heroes.
I feel like that was maybe a support buff more than anything.
So when I buy a Ghost Scepter, I'll be honest, I never feel like I have the issue of it like not being on cooldown. It's just I'm proud of myself for the fact of just buying a Ghost Scepter
and remembering
to use it. Yeah, like against a Juggernaut or something. Like,
well, and that may be an indirect nerf to Jug as well. I mean, Jug's been strong in just about every patch. It feels like people are playing him a lot more now. Some of that due to the Arcana. Did you see his pick rate go up with the Arcana?
Of course, that's always happened.
But it was nuts with Jug. It was nuts. It was
a cool Arcana.
He went from being in like every third game to being in every game.
Oh, he is in every game.
So let's see. Sanjin Yasha proc chance increase from 35% to 40%. We're seeing Sanjin Yasha kind of come back into the meta a little bit more.
They just want people to use it. Like Gabe is like, guys, like, or Ice Frog or whoever. This is a good item. Use it. More specifically, Sanj. They want people to buy Sanj. They're like, it's an item in the game. Buy it, please. MAME is good.
Helm of the Dominator and the God damn it.
Wow.
I can't remember.
Did Dennybot break down?
Yeah, I did.
Do I need to resolder some wires?
The dumb item where you double attack people. Why do
Echo Saber.
Echo Saber.
God.
Thank you. I was never going to get there.
Be a caster.
I was never going to get there.
Never be a caster.
This is what I told
never
on
ever be a
recently.
caster.
Yep.
You don't have enough recall.
Nope.
You don't have enough recall.
I suck. But yeah, so I mean,
you don't suck. Don't be so self-deprecating.
Echo Saber, and Helm of the Dominator like made Sanjin Yasha useless, or not useless, but nobody was picking up Sange and Yasha with those 2 items in the game.
Like, some people still were, like a Bloodseekers.
Yeah, but you were only ever picking up a Yasha to go into a Manta. You were never picking up Sange to go into Heaven's Halberd. We'll get to that Heaven's Halberd buff here in a minute, but it's Sange and Yasha is going to get a little bit of a comeback. It seems like, and I like should. It. I like that.
Proud's talking about SNY Yasha or SNY
Sven.
SNY Phase Sven. Yeah. SNY Phase Boot Sven, which is actually pretty sweet.
I built that the other yesterday in a game.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the Phase Boot especially because oftentimes you're like trying to run after somebody and you're just getting like blocked endlessly by creeps.
And actually he goes phase helm then into S&Y and he grabs that speed creep and I did exactly
goblin
that
with the wine.
You were just booking around that map. I know, with that
awesome.
Speed creep and those phase boots and then whenever you use Warcry, I mean it's nuts.
That's a speed. You're probably moving pretty close to max.
Yeah. So Heaven's Halberd cooldown reduced from 22 to 18 feels like Valve saying,
please use me, please.
This is a good item. You don't just have to buy it when Husk and Ursa are in the game.
Yeah. I feel like if adding range to Heaven's Halberd is going to make it a lot better than reducing cooldown. Give me some range on that Heaven's Halberd. That's fucking awesome. Yeah. Give me anything else. Not that good.
So this next nerf with Slippers of Agility no longer being available in the side shop. Yeah, this is a huge nerf. And let's see. I wanted to find Proud's comments on it in particular. The PMS builder nerfs, the safe lane PMS builder nerfs. So basically everybody who builds that poor man shield in lane, losing the Slippers of Agility in the side shop is a huge deal.
It's not also for poor man's shield. When I'm building Aquila, I like to get my Slipper of Agility at the side shop, and that's an extra 3 agility while I'm waiting for everything to get to me to finish the Aquila. So it's a very early game nerf. Very early game.
Yeah, which I mean, it feels like the early game is getting nerfed to hell.
Well, remember when Windlace could be bought? Remember when the minus armor thing?
Oh man, I still go over sometimes thinking I can buy my Windlace in the side shop.
I know. There was a time when Windlace, Blightstones. What else did they take away from there? God, there was something big that they took away, and it's just we're just so used to it now.
You can still get Blightstones in the side
Nope,
shop?
They took that away in 7.03.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So like the side shop's for like Blink Dagger and a 2-charge bottle. Which that's one thing I don't see anybody ever do is buy a bottle from the side shop.
I'm sure you do some offlaners, but none that I'm sure you and I play. So let's delve into the heroes because this is the most interesting component to it all, in my opinion.
Yes.
So Centaur Warrunner, Stampede, Scepter damage reduction reduced from 50% to 40%.
Good.
So Centaur, he's been dominating the offlane. They take that the scepter damage reduction and just nerf it a bit.
When he hits that and you're like, why am I not doing anything? It's tough.
I don't think that'll be a big enough nerf to him to stop us from seeing him.
No, Centaur's still great.
In the offlane.
Centaur's still a great hero.
Yeah. So Monkey King, now he's of course in captain's mode. They scaled down the primal spring.
That's from a tree.
40, 50, 60, 70 to 30, 45, 60, 75. So a slight buff when all things are said and done, but definitely a nerf to
that. Nerfs the roaming MK. Because that's what you get level 1 is Primal Spring.
Yeah.
If you're roaming.
What are you thinking about? What does that say?
And spring winding up can be heard by nearby enemies. What that says to me is that he's too good of a roamer. And that they're realizing that Zai is way too good of a roamer on Monkey King, and they need people to be able to hear it coming, and 2, for it to do less damage in the early game.
So basically, to stop him from kind of
they're forcing you to get a level 2 on it. Because look, at level 1, it's 40% to 30%. At level 2, it's 50% to 45%. So at level 2, it's better than it was.
Oh, no, level 2, it's 5% worse.
So yeah, whatever. They're basically saying,
I feel like they're just trying to stop that.
Because you only get 1 level in it.
I feel like they're just trying to stop that snowball, that early potential for snowball that he has to give you a little bit of a warning. Yeah, he's just overall, he's still too good.
He's good. Spring winding up sound effect though, that's really cool. That being able to hear that and like, oh shit, Where's it coming from?
Well, and that'll be nice for supports. That'll be nice for those Hurricane Pike builders, those Force Staff builders, the Blink builders. I mean, you can hear that thing and hopefully, get the hell out.
It's going to mean more skill from the Monkey King. Because you're going to have to say, I know they're going to hear this, where are they going to go?
Yeah, I have to anticipate a little bit where you're going.
Which is cool.
Or if you will.
Yeah.
So Magnus, base attack time increased from 1.7 to 1.8.
This is huge. I'm going to go into a 45-minute speech on how this is going to...
No.
Okay, no. Base attack time was increased. That means Magnus attacks slower now.
And his reverse polarity cooldown was increased. It used to be 120, 111... Or sorry, 120, 110, and 100. Now it's just a flat 120 at all levels.
Cooldown increased. I mean, that sucks. But I will be honest. A reverse polarity every 100 seconds was too much, especially late game because of what it does. I mean, clump everybody together. Nah.
Well, it feels akin
every 100 seconds. Nah.
On a good Magnus, it's akin to a Tidehunter Ravage. It's akin to a good Black Hole. I mean, it's.
And they have to adjust for skill too. They can't just they have to fix it for the pro level as well, and us newbies have to deal with it.
Yeah. So finally, also a much needed Abaddon nerf. His strength gain.
Excuse me.
I still like Abaddon.
Yeah, me too.
Abaddon's strength gain reduced from 2.7 to 2.5, and his mist coil.
So over 25, that would mean 5 strength difference. At level 25, he has 5 less strength.
No. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
5 less strength 25 over 25 levels.
Yep.
Yeah. Big nerfs.
Yeah.
Big nerfs for Abaddon.
Miscoil projectile speed reduced from 2,000 to 1,600.
That can mean something. Like it's cool to see these projectile reductions. Like Pudge's hook. You know about that one?
No.
Pudge's hook is slower now.
Oh, okay.
As of 7.03. Okay. That was just like 3 days ago. Because we're now on 7.04.
Yeah, so I mean, I honestly, I don't know what to make of the projectile slow with
it's still fast. So Pudge's hook was 1,600 and it's like 1,425 now. So picture an old Pudge hook, and that's about how fast Miscoil.
I mean, I guess to help you disjoint. Miscoil can be disjointed, right?
Well, it's for suicide. So if you target something that's far away for a suicide, they may kill you before... because it's not going to do the damage to you until it hits the target. So if you're on Abaddon, you're going for Miscoil suicide, and it's like the unit is 1,500 away, or something like that. I don't think that's the range. It's somebody might be able to kill you before. You know what I mean? It's just a minimal thing. They have reasons.
Yeah. Okay. You see, this is why we needed Ursia Proud here.
No, we don't. They're 5K right. Trash. Remember?
Oh yeah. So Life Stealer, base damage reduced by 2. Slight nerf to Life Stealer. I don't feel like that's going to change him drastically. It's just going to make him a little bit harder to get going in lane.
He's super easy to last hit with. 2 damage, I don't think is going to make much of a difference.
Keeper of the Light, this is a pretty big nerf. His base damage was reduced from 43 to 57 to 43 to 50, so he's going to be hitting on average for like 46 points. As opposed to hitting on average for 50 points. Yeah. So you're going to see him do a little bit less harass. And Keeper was definitely he was getting into that top tier godlike support level.
Yeah. I mean, they're making sets for him, so he's got to be good, right?
Yeah, that's right. Brewmaster, he gets a little bit of a buff.
Huge buff. This is really cool. Ends at the same, but this means that level 1.
Well, you gotta read it here.
Drunken Brawler cooldown reduced from 16, 14, 12, 10 to 13, 12, 11, 10. So this means level 1 Brew offlane gonna be good. Already was good.
I feel like it's not gonna make him that great. I don't think it's gonna make me.
Drunken Brawler.
Yeah, that's the mischance.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I get that. I don't think it's a huge buff. I think they're just trying to incentivize him. I think they're trying to make him a little bit more viable.
Count to 3
in the early game.
Count to 3.
1, 2, 3.
That's how much of a difference it makes. Pretty big.
Thanks, bro.
Okay. Nature's Prophet level 10 talent increased from plus 225 health to 250 health. So a little more health for Nature's alternative. Or no, this is an alternative. Nature's Prophet level 15 talent changed from 35 movement speed to 4 treants. That sucks. That's a nerf. I always took that move speed when I was playing Nature's, and now I get 4 more feed trees. So that's nice.
I don't know that. I mean, but I feel like that's them trying to encourage
feeding trees. Yeah, it is.
I encourage more of a push build on him as opposed to
moving around and pushing. Yeah, it's totally it works. Razor level 20 talent increased from 30 attack speed to 40 attack speed. That's cool. Level 20. The alternative is
from 275 health to 325.
Yes,
I love seeing a Razor buff.
Yeah, I think you go attack speed like. Well, I don't know. There are times for health. There are times for attack speed. Death Prophet, level 10 in talent increased from 10% magic resistance to 12% because we like nominal numbers. Nominal increase. Nominal?
I don't know. Sure.
Meaning? Yeah. I feel like I used it right. Okay. Death Prophet Exorcism spirit damage increased from 55 to 58. You got to figure there are, I don't know how many ghosties, but I'm going to say like 12.
Like, what's her... all right, so let's...
She's dismal, remember? She's like 42% win rate.
Yeah. So
43% now.
Yeah, so, I mean, but that... Does that... To me, that kind of indicates...
That makes a difference, dude. If every ghost is doing 3 more and there's 12...
No, I know, but I mean, my thinking being, yeah, she's got that level 25 talent to increase the number of ghosts. I guess more what I was going to say there is I feel like that's not a huge buff to Death Prophet. I guess I don't remember what the 704 buffs were, but obviously it hasn't been enough to increase her win rate over at least the last week.
It's a percent. She was 42 when we played her last week.
But I mean, doesn't it to you feel like a slight nerf like that feels like, at least in the eyes of Valve, she's close to being viable, but not all the way viable?
She didn't get nerfed, she got buffed.
No, I know. I mean, a slight buff means that she's close to being viable, or she's a slight buff means she's slightly away from being viable. I feel like she's
good against
needs
Viper.
More of a buff. I feel like she needs more buff.
She's good against Viper. Queen of Pain Shadow Strike cast point reduced from 0.452 to 0.4. Thank God. It's going to be a little faster on that Shadow Strike cast point. That 0.52 floating numbers.
Hey, we see.
Gotta get rid of
cast
those.
points. Cast points are meaningful. All right.
Yes, they are. Love this. I just played this hero. Phoenix, level 15 talent increase from 120 GPM to 150 GPM. Phoenix, the alternative level 15 talent, 50 Fire Spirit DPS plus 65. Huge. Kunkka, level 10 talent increase.
Wait, you don't want to talk about that?
It's 15 more. It's good. If you need money, get money on Phoenix. If you need damage, get the Fire Spirits.
Okay. All right.
Kunkka, level 10 increase from plus 25 to plus 30
on damage. I feel like you're terrible at reading these.
It's so small, and I want to get to our actual show here. Like
his level 15 talent increased from plus 20 move speed to plus 30. A little bit of that.
A buff.
Yeah.
A buff to Kunkka.
Do you think that means we get to see him coming back into are they trying to encourage Kunkka back into that 4-position support?
I think that Kunkka somehow became that, yeah. And he is that. I mean, move speed and damage. I don't know. I've seen him as mid. He can work, and he's dual purpose. Lycan, base strength increased by 3.
Cool.
Small. Arc Warden, strength gain increased from 2.3 to 2.7. This is an Agi hero, but has a lot of health now, I guess.
Well, more health. 0.4 times 25, so about the same 10 strength.
Yeah, 4 times 25, 10 strength. 120 health, or 170 health at the end of the day. Lone Druid, level 15 talent increase from plus 30 spirit bearer damage to plus 50.
So
please stop playing Lonely Druid. Please get damage for your bear.
Proud specifically wanted us to say, make sure you hit on how fucking awful the backpedal on nerfing bear LD is. Basically, they're backpedaling on the nerf that 703 introduced.
Or some nerf. I think it may have been before that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, whatever. They're basically trying to encourage bear spirit again.
That would be nice, because I hate him.
All right. Ancient Apparition, Cold Feet mana cost, reduced from 150 to 125. About fucking time. I like seeing that.
Yeah, that's big. 25 mana early game is huge. Broodmother, Insatiable Hunger lifesteal increased from 60, 90, 120% to 60, 100, 140%. Broodmama can fight later on. Broodmother, Insatiable Hunger damage increased from 69 to 120 to 60, 100, 140. So not only lifestealing more, but doing more damage, thus lifestealing more. Awesome. Good for you, Broodmama. Can't wait to see you back.
Bristleback, Quill Spray, AoE increased from 625 to 650. Fuck yeah, I'll take it.
That's good.
I miss Bristle. Where was he sitting down on win rate for a while?
43.
Okay.
49.
49. Okay, so he's back up. Well, let's see. His win rate was... It was down in the dumps. I mean, before then, it was...
52.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just down in the...
He's doing all right. Yeah, okay. So 49. He's been at... his lowest was 49. So yeah, that is a slight buff. That'll help. Yeah. That'll help. Yeah. Okay, so Puck, base damage increased by 3. They want to see Puck come back, I guess.
Thumbs up. Whatever, cool.
Lich,
this is the biggest one, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is awesome. Lich Chain Frost cooldown reduced from 120-90-60 to 180-60.
This is why this is important, in my opinion. How often do you see a level 18 Lich? Like, very rarely do you get Lich to level 18 before a game ends. I'm going to say more often than not.
I feel like you get...
especially with experience nerfs.
I feel like you see...
There have been experience nerfs.
But I mean, Lich is one of those heroes that you do... he generates his own XP.
He does, but I'm just going to say that more games end with Lich under level 18 than Lich over level 18, meaning more Chain Frosts.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see.
More Chain Frosts.
Okay. All right. That's it, folks. If all you tuned in for was 704 updates, that's really it. It's that basic. How long was that?
That was 25 minutes.
Oh, yeah. You see, we guessed it right. Like
there have been like 7-hour patch note episodes. And it's like...
And that's why they let us do it.
Yeah, if we would have done it. They didn't let us do shit.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because it's 5K garbage, 5K garbage.
Yeah.
Okay, so today, delving into the Counterattack episode, we ended up playing Phoenix and Dazzle.
Which was so much fun. I had a blast.
Yeah, it was. I mean, for you got to play Phoenix and dive around and do shit.
I love Dazzle. I would have switched you, but you don't have a big hero pool.
Yeah, please, I'd have played Phoenix. I think I.
How does Phoenix work?
I've played Phoenix. Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Yeah. I get how Phoenix works. All right.
How does
first you question my Earth Spirit?
How does Broodmother work? What are Broodmother's 3 skills?
I don't care.
What are Broodmother's 3 skills?
Her bullshit spider or bullshit whatever thing to launch to make you get spiders.
Okay, that's one.
Fuck, she's got a passive.
What's the passive do?
Fuck if I remember. I don't remember.
It's because you haven't expanded.
Oh yeah, and then webs. Yeah, I don't remember the.
What's
passive.
her ult?
To the insatiable hunger. We just fucking talked about it.
I was hoping you'd forget. All right, let's go ahead.
Fuck you. How does fucking Earth Spirit work, huh?
I can tell you exactly all of his combos and everything.
Could you?
Okay, Rolling Boulder is Q. Okay, which is where he kick. Sorry, Rolling Boulder is W.
Yeah, that's right.
Q is kick. He kicks something. W is
what does he kick? What can he kick?
Stone Remnant, a hero, an enemy.
Okay.
I don't think he can kick allies. Maybe he can. With the W. Mm-hmm. He can either roll, but if he puts a remnant in front, he'll roll for that much longer.
Do you know how far?
I think it's 1,000 units longer.
2,000 units.
It's 2,000 units total, but it's 650 plus whatever the remnant would make it.
2,000 flat.
It doesn't add another 2,000. You're wrong.
It's just
pick up Earth
flat.
Spirit. You're wrong. You're wrong. 2,000 units. You know how big that is, dude?
I'm trying to click on it. It's just
click on it. It worked that one time.
It's not working.
Yeah, let's go into this. Rolling Boulder.
Distance round. Oh, 1,600. It's 1,600. Excuse me. Yeah, it's a flat.
Yeah, it'd be pretty dumb.
Yeah,
okay. E, pull and silence.
Yeah.
And magnetize. You have to be within a certain radius of them, and every time they go near a stone remnant, it recharges the magnetic field. That's Earth Spirit.
What does it recharge specifically?
The cooldown on how much damage they're taking.
Okay. What does his Ags do?
His Ags can turn somebody into a stone boulder, and he can kick them around. Yes, it does.
No, his Ags allows you to geomagnetic grip enemies.
But it puts them in it. God damn it. You are ignorant, dude. Come on. Get the Ags up.
Allows geomagnetic grip to pull allied heroes.
Yeah, you turn them into a remnant.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. You've never had enough gold on him to get one, dude. That's your problem.
No, you just don't always build Ags on him.
Infrequent. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay. Before you make me boil over in rage because you think I don't know how your dumb hero works, okay?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
And what is trending on there? Ags. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, Ags. Good.
Well, no, that's the most recent win.
You get Ags on him. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Go to any build, you get Ags on Earth Spirit.
That's not what Z-Freak does.
Okay.
And that's who I was watching.
Cool.
So go fuck
All right,
yourself.
let's get into counterattack now. Enough of this.
We
Dota
played
knowledge
Phoenix.
spar.
Yeah, we played Phoenix Dazzle. It was a good time. It was all right. I had the mouse go out on me, which, by the way, so you've never had the mouse go out on you playing Dota?
Never once.
So it's happened to me. It's happened to Rin. It happens to me here on your computer. I've seen
computer.
Yeah, your wife's computer. I have seen posts on Reddit about it. Some guy, I think the most recent post I saw was this dude saying, I was about to go buy a new mouse because I assumed my mouse was fucked and found out that it was just the game. And it just happens randomly. And then all of a sudden you can't fucking move. I can hit buttons. It's still recognizing the keyboard. It's not like anything's frozen. And I have to unplug the mouse and plug the mouse back in, at least on your wife's computer, to get it to work at all. On my computer, I just have to sit and wait like 3 to 5 seconds for it to fucking come back.
Sounds like you
awful.
need a new mouse.
It's not I'm telling you, it's the game. I'm telling you,
Got to
it's the
go
game.
buy those Dota 2 Steel Series now.
That's right. That must be
fixed.
what it is. Drives me crazy. But I was 10 gold away from my mana boots at one point at like 12 minutes into the game.
You would have died anyway. You were called.
No,
you were called.
I only got called because I was stationary.
You were gonna get called anyway.
I was not gonna get called. I'm telling you, I was stationary. I couldn't fucking move. I would have absolutely lived there. Would have absolutely lived there. I was full fucking health, retreating with the team. I was fine.
You were Dazzle versus an Axe.
I was fine.
You were not fine. People can watch the game and determine if he was fine.
I hate you so much.
I hate you way worse. Can we please get into this?
But anyways, then I winded up, of course, not getting fucking mana boots until like 20.
Let's go into pick order. Let's not talk about...
No, I want to talk about the overall run of the game. Because
it was great. We won.
Well, there was a lot of fighting up in our lane. We ended up laning together with the Dazzle Phoenix.
People abandoned mid and safe lane to just come fight in our lane with
which I don't
us. It worked,
fucking get why any of that was going on. That Axe, the enemy team's Axe, dominated our safe lane, and then after they got that tier 1 tower, they just abandoned it and let our Slark free farm. I don't think we won that game necessarily because of you and me or because of the strength of our counterpicks. I mean, and maybe you feel differently, but I don't think we had that much game impact. I think it had a lot more to do with kind of the stupidity of the enemy team, how they dealt with you and me being up in the off lane, and that the couple of rotations that Invoker made. I really feel like that was the bigger impact overall to us winning this game, was that we had a Slark that was allowed to free farm. And maybe you can make the case that we were doing such a good job up there, although I don't feel like we were doing that great of a job, considering that we fed First Blood to the enemy Wind Ranger, and that we very quickly had a death on me, like within another minute after that. I don't know. That's those are my general thoughts. Are you distracted by reading reviews?
We got a new one. It's not showing up though.
No, okay.
I'm not distracted. I heard every dumb thing you said.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts? Do you feel like we had that big of an impact on the game?
Yeah, those eggs had a big impact.
A couple of eggs.
There was. I never died in an egg.
Yeah, that's true.
I felt like the egg was a good let's go, sure. and led to a lot of 1 fights. I died every single one of those fights.
Yeah,
but it was always like a 1 for 4 or a 2 for 4.
I guess my point more being, I felt like it was.
We obviously had an impact. You were like 5'8" and 25, and I was 3'8" and 21 or something like that.
I think I still have it up.
So we had a GD. Oh man, the way you go about things is weird. 5'8", 24, and I was 3'8", 20. So obviously we had a big impact. We assisted in a lot of kills. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so we'll run through the pick order here. All right. First up, I did the standard spiel to everybody. Hey, we're recording this for a podcast. Can we get last pick? Our team was more than willing to oblige. They were a 3-stack, and they did not seem to care. One of them wanted to play support for his buddy who was running the Slark. They ran a Shadow Demon Slark combo in the safe lane. Their other buddy ran Invoker mid. And we decided to do a 2-1-2 lineup, given the way things went. So, the enemy team first picked a Pudge, and I kind of thought I really thought we were going to end up getting an Undying. I'll be honest.
I would have loved to have played Undying.
Yeah, I see, and I would have too. Undying and Abaddon were both there. I would have loved to have run an Undying Abaddon offlane.
That would have been sweet.
That would have been fun as fuck.
Yeah, that would have been sweet.
So after the Pudge got picked up, a Wind Ranger got added into the mix. Then I thought you might end up playing Centaur. I was contemplating Visage. I was really hoping that it would wind up being Abaddon.
No, don't pick Visage.
By the rules, I would have to.
By the rules, you would have had to, yeah.
Then a Treant Protector gets thrown into the mix, and this is where Dazzle started popping up to the top of the list, and then we were becoming a little unsure about the offlane.
I was thinking Chaos Knight. I was like, Chaos Knight's an offlane. He's an offlane.
I was thinking by the rules, we probably would have put you on Bristleback.
Yeah. I mean, I would have made a case, though, that Chaos Knight was offlane.
Although, I think we could have also made the case for, like, Dazzle Darkseer, or, maybe even... Yeah. Maybe even Darkseer Undying.
Yeah, but we did end up following the rules.
Yeah, so then a fourth pick Zeus was thrown into the mix, and Dazzle was just looking like the best support at this point. I didn't feel like Dazzle fit the... I'll be honest, I really felt like Dazzle didn't fit...
We needed another support. You didn't have to dual lane with me, you did.
Right.
But we needed another support.
Yeah, I just mean, like, by the rules, I felt like Warlock maybe made more sense in that 4-spot support role than... maybe Dazzle did. I really was thinking that Warlock might have been the better pick there out of
if you're going for
those
4, I don't know. I think Dazzle's
going for
fine.
a 4. I feel like Warlock made the most sense. I feel like Dazzle, because we already had a Shadow Demon who had bought up Courier Wards. He had done everything in that regard.
We had 2 defensive supports.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I really felt like Warlock might have been a better pick. Or there.
I guess I don't know. Is Shadow Demon a defensive support?
Yes and no.
I feel like he'd actually be an offensive support.
But at the same time, it's not like I was laning with them, so I don't know.
But I could have been by the rules.
Yeah, I think by the rules I should. I honestly, I do think Warlock probably was the pick there. But we picked the Dazzle. Dazzle was the top support pick, and we did need another support. So we... arguments aside, we went with the Dazzle. And of course, as always happens, when you pick a Dazzle and there's an enemy pick left, the enemy team picked up an Axe. This seemed dumb to me. This seemed really dumb.
Somebody on our team said they forgoed carry to counter Dazzle. And that's like, because they don't... I mean, Pudge, Wind Ranger... Tree, Zeus...
Wind Ranger was their best hope for a carry.
They didn't have a carry.
They threw the way they ended up laning this was Wind Ranger and Treant in the safe lane,
Zeus mid,
Zeus in the mid, and a roaming Pudge with the Axe off lane.
Yeah, I have no idea how mid went. I have no idea how off lane went, or safe lane.
We do have an idea how mid went because mid tier 1 got taken before he ever started rotating up to us.
Oh, okay. So
it went well.
And so now Phoenix pops to the top. I pick Phoenix as the offlane. Phoenix is good against every one of those heroes according to Dota Picker, but we are going to go by Dota buff standard and talking why.
So I want to go over each of our heroes first before we dive into how they play with everybody else. So Phoenix right now 95th in popularity with a 50.14% win rate, so pretty damn balanced.
Definitely an offlane hero, 67% presence in the offlane.
Yeah.
24% presence safe lane, 5% in the mid lane. Highest win rate is in the mid lane.
Yeah, over a smaller
sample size.
And slightly lower whenever you plop him into the safe lane. Actually, his lowest win rate is technically the off lane, but
No, it's not 51.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, it's slightly higher. I'm thinking 50. Yeah. So then Dazzle. Dazzle is 70th in popularity with a 50.51% win rate. So both heroes with that are, by win rate standards, relatively balanced heroes. Yeah. Primarily Dazzle's presence in the safe lane, 70.42% presence there with a 51.4% win rate. Presence in the off lane, 20.45% with a 52% win rate.
Yeah, it's highest win rates in off lane.
So, I mean, and I don't have a problem with running a Dazzle in the off lane. I guess I was more thinking if we were going to do that, then I don't know.
There is a point to giving Phoenix levels.
Yeah, right. And that was more what I was thinking.
But I was like, nah, come with me, dog. We'll do this.
Yeah, and 2-1-2 was fine there. I mean, it worked out. So let's delve into. You want to do Phoenix versus Pudge first or Dazzle versus Pudge?
Oh, let's do Phoenix versus Pudge because I feel like I win.
You feel like you win?
I feel like I.
Well, you're about
I
to
don't
find
feel
out.
like. Yeah, I feel like I have an advantage.
This is your win rate against Pudge.
48%, but I have an advantage of 0.76% over him. So
Pudge overall has a 52.45% win rate, and of course is second in popularity.
So with all that mumbo jumbo, with Phoenix being like 94th or whatever you said in popularity, I feel like I'm good against Pudge because one, he hooks me. I fly away. With Icarus Dive.
You could potentially egg if you had to.
Egg is also good. I can heal somebody who's getting dismembered with my Sunray. I can slow his attack with W and his move with W.
I feel like that doesn't matter. Maybe the move a little bit.
The movement speed and the turn speed, it does too matter. I saw that so many times. Or if somebody's just getting dismembered, I can be healing and throwing birds at the same time. No, but I mean more
specifically, I think you're like specific. I think that's just one of those things that's like good against everybody, right? I think your specific things that you touched on there.
Well, he's standing still when he's dismembering somebody.
Right.
That's nice for birds.
Yeah.
That means that, birds are good against everybody, but they're particularly good against Pudge because he's standing still as he's dismembering somebody, because I can Sunray and be throwing birds.
I feel like I didn't see you use Sunray that much.
I didn't. I went 4-4-0 ult. I didn't get Sunray, which is dumb. Sunray is the skill.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't ask me why. I was
okay.
Maybe I should have consulted Tortellini. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
I went Roland build that game, which was like, I want to dive and I want to throw spirits.
Where do you feel your weaknesses against Pudge were?
If he can get a dismember off before I can Icarus Dive, I'm dead. Pudge doesn't have fast attack speed. I don't really feel like there's many weakness. There's much weakness.
I feel like a bad Icarus Dive can basically result in you dying.
Sure.
Because you are also the other terrible thing for you.
But that's not a weakness. That means I made a misplay.
You and Pudge both utilize your health in order to cast spells.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unique. And Pudge probably...
I don't know. If I'm low and he hooks me and kills me, that sucks. Like if the hook kills me, that sucks. Other than that, I mean, I guess another thing, Pudge buys earn. I'm low on health. He earns me. Even if I Icarus Dive away, earn may be enough to get the kill. I'd say that would be a weakness, just because Pudge buys earn.
Yeah. So Dazzle has a 0.94% advantage over Pudge, but an overall win rate of only 48.73%. I think again this probably has more to do with the level of popularity. Dazzle being somewhere around 70th, Pudge being somewhere around second.
But why do you have an advantage over him?
I think Shallow Grave in a dismember, an obvious one.
Yeah.
Too often is Shallow Grave, or too often is Dismember, just the way that people die. Again, he's staying stationary. You're able to hit that. Pudge also, if Pudge is trying to farm anything, or if Pudge is at all trying to farm, or throws himself into the midst of a fight in a bad way, he's melee, so of course you have the option for a heal bomb. That's always nice. In fact, when he's dismembering you, I can, in addition to shallowing you, be damaging him by throwing a heal your way.
Yeah, I think that's the big one there, is that if I'm about to die, you grave me, and then you start blasting heals.
Right.
And then he's not healing as much from it. He's taking damage, and then, how Dismember works.
I feel like Shallow's maybe the biggest counter.
Yeah.
Just because
also,
it means
if somebody's getting hooked, and I don't know, and you can hurry and run over there and just Shallow. And also rot. I mean, that's the big thing. Like, get him enough time to get away from him, basically.
Yeah.
And you can slow him. You can slow him so that they can get away from his rot. Yeah.
I think that's about all to say on Pudge.
Yeah.
All right. Let's tackle Phoenix versus the Wind Ranger.
Okay. Yeah, no, makes sense. So Wind Ranger has a 0.21% advantage over Phoenix, with a 54% win rate.
But Phoenix has the 54% win rate.
Phoenix has the 54% win rate. That's probably because Wind Ranger has a horrible win rate. What's Wind Ranger's win rate?
Wind Ranger is sitting at 45%.
Yeah. So Phoenix sitting at a 50. She's bringing it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Or no.
No, she's not.
No, she's not.
about where she should be.
So here's the deal with Wind Ranger is she can shackle me. And that's basically the worst thing in the world. I can be Icarus Dive, and that doesn't matter. If I get shackled, I'm basically lining myself up to trees. I'm probably going to line myself up by the time that shackle heals to a tree.
Yeah,
that shackle
I'll be
hits.
honest, the initial thought I had about the Phoenix into Wind Ranger was the
Focus Fire does not work on egg.
Focus Fire doesn't work on egg. Oh, okay. I did not know that.
No. It's just like a tower. You can't you can Focus Fire a tower. You cannot Focus Fire an egg. But Wind Ranger can stand back, so she's not getting the slow from the egg, and she can take an egg down really quick. She can also power shot when I'm low. She has evasion, which doesn't matter at all because everything I do is magic.
That advantage more than anything then speaks to a relatively even matchup.
I'd say it's an even matchup. I would say that Windranger, the reason why Phoenix has such a huge, well, not huge, well, pretty huge, 54% win rate over Windranger is just because
she's so weak right now.
She's weak, and Phoenix, I mean, an egg is good. I don't know. It's just one of those things that, like, Phoenix's ult is really good, and Windranger's good at dealing with it, but if Windranger has to deal with bees flying around the egg, like other heroes, you know, she's going to focus on the heroes when people don't. People don't focus on the egg. You saw that.
Yeah.
My egg never got blown up. Not even level 1 egg. It takes 3 hits, I think.
Yeah, it was close, but it never really happened.
Never.
So Dazzle versus Windranger has a 55% win rate and a 0.07% advantage overall. The biggest thing I noticed with Dazzle versus Windranger was anytime she was trying to get away, if I saved my poison touch for her, Windrun, I could pretty effectively counter out Windrun, and especially I started to favor. I initially threw my first or my so I always max healing first, right? Always with Dazzle.
E is the way to go.
That's the way to go. I initially started to max the shallow over the poison touch, and then decided no, I'm gonna go poison touch instead this game because there's a fucking axe. It's gonna.
Yeah, I would do like a 1-1-1, and then a 1-1-2, and then a 1-1-3, and then a 1-1-3-1. Type thing, and then obviously level 7 maxi.
So, I think had this been a standard game, I think I would have gotten a lot more versatility out of Shallow Grave versus a Phoenix or versus a Windranger, given that if she is focus firing a shackled opponent, I could always throw out that Grave. Again, I didn't have the option to do that in this match with the axe because that just meant I was fucked, or they were fucked anyway if they got low enough. But the poison touch versus the wind run was nice because it
eventually stuns. What, like level 3?
I think it's level 4.
I think level 3
go back and check,
stuns.
but so I mean, it overall it was a pretty nice matchup. Like I never felt like I was
level 3. It stuns for 1 second.
No, it's level 4. Yeah, it's max. That's when you add the stun at level 4.
I hate when you're right.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I think Dazzle is a great counter. In addition to that, I mean, you're able to throw out Weave, which is great against everybody.
It's especially great against Windranger. Imagine a ton of armor with little arrows coming at you at 1,000,000 speed.
Oh, sure.
Your individual instance block from Windranger.
Yeah, that's true.
Is insane.
Yeah,
like you're basically.
Well, I'm generous with my weaves. Like
you should be. I feel like weave should always be on.
Yeah, people save weave like it's.
If you're about to go into a fight, save it or something like that.
Right. If you know you're pushing, sure, save the weave until you get close.
But if you know you're pushing, weave. Right. Because you want that weave to be 10 seconds in, so because weave
by
ticks
the time
up
the fight breaks
and
out,
ticks down.
Yeah, by the time the fight breaks out, you might as well have everybody weave.
Ticks up for allies, ticks down.
In
for
addition
enemies.
to that, and I know I mentioned this on a show recently, but the cooldown on weave
is it's basically almost always up.
Yeah, so the cooldown on weave is 40 seconds
and lasts 30 seconds.
The duration is 24. So you only ever have to be, especially once you have mana boots and you're a decent enough level, odds are you have the mana pool to sustain keeping weave up at all times, except for those 16-second intervals where it's down. So I don't know. I always try to keep the weave going as long as possible.
I'm a huge Dazzle fan.
All right, let's move into Treant Protector. Phoenix v Treant.
All right, so Treant Phoenix has a 47.74% win rate against Treant. That's because Treant is doing so well. But think about it. Phoenix wrecks Treant Protector. 1, Icarus Dive breaks trees.
Well, you're talking about the advantage.
The advantage, 1.7%. Yeah, I have a huge advantage.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Phoenix has a huge advantage over Treant Protector for multiple reasons. 1, Treant Protector has the lowest base attack time in the game. So Treant isn't going to break an egg, okay? Even though you'd think one punch would. No, that's not how it works. 2, if I need to break down some trees, I can do that for free. No mana cost.
That's true.
Icarus Dive break down trees.
And that was nice in that lane. We made it. We were able to even just incidental Icarus dives made it so that after a while he had very limited places to go, and with a couple of well-placed sentries, we pretty much knew where he was at in that laning phase at all times.
Yep. I can do percentage damage to him with Sunray, of course. Fire Spirit's good. Like, just basically everything that's good against, about Phoenix is good against Tree and Protector. I think the Icarus dive being able to break trees is one of the bigger ones. Also, he pops me on my head. How many times did he pop me on my head, leech seed me, and then I Icarus dived away?
Yeah.
I mean,
you have an escape to deal with the minuscule amount of disable that he has.
Yeah, like, well, that's... To get donked on the head and then slowed, usually you're like, oh, God, and the carry's coming.
They were able to get you at one... well, at least once, maybe twice.
They killed me. I got first blooded, and that's it. Like, remember, because I died and I wasn't paying attention to my health pool.
I mean, you had 8 deaths. So.
I didn't die to a tree, I'll tell you that much.
But I mean, my point being, like, they did have the disable to, like, keep you locked down, even just between that duo.
I do want to note that you cannot Icarus dive out of Treant's whatever, his ult.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a root.
It's a root. Yep. Nope. You can't Icarus dive out of that, but you can egg. So there were several times where he would root me, and I would just be like, all right, egg. And then it was like, let's do this. Like, you know, whatever. So, and I bought Yule's Scepter, which was great that game, which is, and I just Yule's it off. Just bloop.
All right, Dazzle v Treant. Dazzle has a 1.35% advantage, but only a 47.92% win rate.
Because Trees, so what is Trees' win rate?
Trees' win rate right now sitting at a 53.26%. So I mean, he's
good.
Yeah, I mean, again, against Tree, I don't feel like there was anything too crazy about Tree that made Dazzle. I made Dazzle feel like he had a huge win rate. I didn't notice anything huge in that regard. I would say maybe the thing that I noticed the most is that I'm pretty decent about hanging back on my Dazzle usually, and the cast range on a lot of my spells, especially the cast range on Weave. Like, if you guys got rooted by the Treant ult, I was able to get a Weave down because I was definitely far enough back. I was still able to get up and throw out some Shadow Weaves just to keep you guys healed. I mean, it didn't. I felt like more than anything, it was the ability of Dazzle to hang back and kind of respond to anything that was going on with Treant that helped. Yeah. The other big thing is whenever Treant's ult goes off,
you can still heal.
Well, but what generally happens when Treant's ult goes off? Like, what does the enemy team do when they see a root happen?
I feel like they go after one person.
Right, but they move into the area of the root.
Yeah, for sure. Which means you can just weave.
Which means I get a weave that's getting me
positive and negative.
So I'm getting a double. I'm getting a twofer.
That's true. Tree kind of forces people into you, so that's kind of what Dazzle wants.
Yeah, and so I don't know. Those were the only strengths that I really felt like I could notice. At least,
of course, if you see glaring flaws.
I would love to know if
glaring flaws in what we have to say.
All right, so let's hit up old Zeus because
is this Phoenix versus Zeus?
Yeah, this is Phoenix versus Zeus.
Really. Everything that Phoenix has is good, is what I'm going to say. The one thing...
You got to cover the advantage and the win rate.
I have a 0.8% advantage over Zeus with a 45% win rate. Zeus is picked more often, and I guarantee Zeus has a higher win rate.
Yeah, 38th in popularity and a 55.8% win rate.
Here's the thing about Zeus. He lightning or thunderbolts me as W. I Icarus dive away. So that's good. So like I can stay away from him so I'm not getting beaten down by his magic shit. Also, what is Zeus doing in a big fight? He's throwing out Thunder God's Wrath. Guess what Thunder God's Wrath doesn't go through? An egg. If I'm in an egg form, I'm not taking damage. Can Zeus kill an egg? No. Watch Zeus walk up to an egg and try and kill it. There's a certain radius around the egg that slows your attack speed. Well, and Zeus is just like...
Zeus, and I think you're right about all of these heroes, with maybe the exception of Windranger and I guess even Axe.
Yeah, Windranger is the only one with a chance to kill the egg.
Right. So all of these heroes, it required teamwork in order to take down that egg.
Yeah, and they just simply couldn't. And if they did, Zeus would have been squished by any one of them. Slark would have got on Zeus. Like, they couldn't focus the egg. They literally didn't have time to. because all their heroes were they had to run up to the egg.
We had attack speed.
Attacking.
We had damage on our side when they went for that egg.
Yeah. So there's nothing really obvious other than like Thunder God's Wrath and egg, in my opinion.
Yeah. So Zeus, Dazzle has a 0.1%, barely an advantage over Zeus, with only a 45% win rate against Zeus. Dazzle's pretty squishy. Zeus dishes out a ton of magic damage early on in the game. It's pretty obvious why Dazzle can get wrecked by a Zeus. On the flip side, that shallow grave with Thunder God's Wrath being up,
I was gonna say there's like a niche thing that you can do, where it's like, all right, if somebody's low and
I don't think Zeus has a huge advantage. I think Zeus is really strong right now. Obviously, with a 55% win rate, Dazzle's a relatively balanced hero. Mm-hmm. So all of that being said, the only slight advantage I could ever really see Dazzle eking out is I can probably prevent a Thunder God's Wrath pickup or two along the way. Can you think of anything beyond that?
I don't think there's much to say with Zeus, Dazzle, and Phoenix.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Axe.
But there is some shit to say. I feel like Axe... Okay, we'll talk about Axe, Phoenix.
So Axe is what made the Phoenix pick, as far as Dota Picker was concerned. It's what made it happen. This is maybe the largest advantage we've ever talked about on this show.
Phoenix is Axe's direct counter.
3.36% advantage for Phoenix over Axe, but a 48.45% win rate.
Because Axe is doing so well.
He's sitting at a 55%.
Axe, and he's in fucking every game, yeah. So the reason for this, obviously, the spirits slow his turn rate.
Right.
They do damage over time. Also, I can do... oh, that's cool.
Yeah. You and I can both get distracted.
Yeah, because both our phones ring. We like you too, Mott. The Sun Ray does percentage damage to Axe.
Well, I was thinking more specifically
he
the
can't
Sun
kill
Ray.
The egg. Never kill the egg.
He's got kind of a slow attack speed overall, and it's not like Counter Helix is doing anything to your egg.
If he calls me and he can't chop me down, and I'll get away. So, if he calls me, I was thinking
more from the support perspective for Phoenix, in that I know you didn't use it much that time because you were doing a Roland build, but that Sun Ray into an Axe call would be pretty fucking amazing. You'd be healing everybody called simultaneously.
Didn't you notice what I was doing with my Yules? He'd blink call and I'd Yules him.
Right, I know.
That was what was rad.
Yeah,
which was an item thing, not a hero thing.
But I'm thinking specifically with the hero.
No, he clumps up a bunch of people, and I heal a bunch of people and hurt him.
You heal everybody in that process. No,
that's the biggest. That's the biggest.
That's got to be it.
And Sunray is the god ability. Fafnir said it on stream. You're right, Fafnir. I didn't skill it, but if he blink calls 4 of you and I'm outside of it, Sunray. And guess what? He's also another hero that stands still.
Right, and
which
that's
helps
what I'm
with the spirit, which helps with spirits,
and the Sunray.
Helps with Sunray, egg. Come on, Axe. Come on, kill my egg, dude.
He's slow as fuck.
Kill my fucking egg.
Yeah.
And guess what? If you try, you're gonna get stunned, and you don't want to be stunned, dude. Guess what? You can't blink.
Yeah.
You're never gonna be able to blink because I'm gonna be throwing spirits everywhere. Yeah. No, it's obvious.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't realize it was that drastic, though.
Of course, on the flip side, and I, again, picked 4th, Roland picked 5th, so the Axe was obviously a direct counter pickup to the Dazzle. Do I even need to talk about this? A negative 2.46%.
I feel like they counter each other. I feel like...
I know
because Axe runs himself into waves and you heal bomb him.
Right. They kind of counter each other.
But he is the only exception to Shallow Grave.
Right. Dazzle, negative 2.46% advantage with
which is
Axe.
like one of the bigger advantages.
One of the bigger disadvantages we've ever talked about on the show. And a 43.92% win rate against Axe. I mean, look, it's, you know it. Yeah, Roland's right. Sure, heal bomb is nice. It's always great to have, yada, yada, yada. The fact of the matter is that what makes Dazzle the coolest fucking hero in the game is Shallow Grave.
Not the coolest hero in the game.
I'm just saying,
but what
if
Dazzle's thing is Shallow Grave.
Right, if you're going to make an argument for Dazzle, like if I have to pick
and also
one
armor.
element,
he doesn't care about armor.
No.
He does pure damage with Helix, and he does, donk on the head. He doesn't give a shit about armor.
So, God,
the only thing Dazzle has for Axe is Axe going into a wave and heal bombing.
And that's
and the slow, I guess, and poison touch.
Slow's not,
but poison touch is good against anybody,
right? And it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Axe being that direct counter, it was painful. I lost team members to shallow. It's why I ended up not favoring the shallow towards the end of that game. You know, I mean, it's. I don't even know if there's anything worth saying about it. I will say about this game specifically is that Axe felt like the worst last pick, even considering the Dazzle that they could have possibly picked up.
To hearken back to the start of this episode, the teammate that was like, I can't believe they forwent a carry to pick a counter to Dazzle.
Yeah.
And it was just... Yeah, Axe is super good against Dazzle.
It was annoying for me.
But you know what would have been way better? Troll Warlord.
Yeah.
You know what would have been way better? Anti-Mage.
Yeah.
You know what would have been way better? Anyone else.
Yes.
Like, another Dazzle would have been better.
We had a Slark and an Invoker in that game, and the hardest carry you could maybe point to was...
And we had a
Zeus
Phoenix.
or Wind Ranger.
And we had a Phoenix, the number 1 against Axe.
Right. It's just like Zeus or... Well, we didn't have the Phoenix yet. I mean, they didn't know what you were
I last
picking.
picked Phoenix.
You last picked Phoenix.
Yeah, that's right.
But, I mean, what... more than anything, this game wound up being a stomp. Like, we won this game in under 35 minutes.
Yeah.
This game... Yeah.
Was it under 35? Let's look at exact time, please.
35-13.
Not under 35. 35
I wouldn't have gotten my
13.
35 challenge. I mean, but regardless, this game was a stomp. We were pushing towers, we were pushing tier 3 towers and winning fights under tier 3 towers.
Yeah.
At 25
Slark was 21
minutes.
and 2. I did not realize he did so well.
Yeah, he was wrecking. I mean, that's what it all kind of amounted
Space
to.
created by us, dude. And we did. Hey, I'm not just joking there.
No, we did.
There were so many times where we were all 4 top and Slark was just like
free farming bot.
blink, blink. Yeah. Getting shit done. So
I mean, yeah, I don't. It's hard for me to say that we were the reason we won this game, but I don't know. I don't know that it was counterpicking in this instance. I guess that's the thing I kind of want to talk about. Like, we've had several shows now. This is what, the 6th counterattack, 5th counterattack. Excuse me. I would say in like 1 or 2 of those, I feel like in the first counterattack we were the reason we won the game. Our counterpick was why we won. It was that super long game with the Luna. I feel like that
where I threw and then picked up the pieces and,
right. But it was only because of the pushing power and the ability to deal with the megas. Like, you were the reason we were able to deal with all of that and counter the team enough.
That was a great game
to win.
Did that make it to YouTube?
Yeah, I think it did. I know some of these haven't, and I can start going back through and get more
I
of these.
kicked your foot.
That's all right. We can play footsies on the podcast.
That's not what I. That's why I addressed. I kicked your foot. I didn't mean to.
I mean, whatever you need to do, bro. I know.
I don't.
Audra's been out of town for like a week, so I know you're getting lonely.
Damn near. She leaves a lot, dude, and takes my kid.
Yeah.
Do I get a week's worth of child? Oh, I have to pay her a week's worth of child support.
Yeah.
I wonder what that costs.
Yeah, not in this state, bruh. So
really.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I don't pay child support.
No, I'm saying you won't get the child support in this state.
No, I would have to pay. She has the child, so I'd have to pay her child.
Maybe
support.
alimony's your best go. You know,
I'm not looking. I think okay, we can end there.
So anyway, I don't know. When you look back on this game, do you feel like we get to take responsibility for us winning this game?
As much as supports can take responsibility for winning a game, we didn't feed. We weren't the stars. We weren't the stars.
Sure.
We weren't 21 and 2 Slark. We weren't 7 and 3 Invoker. But you were better than 5-7-19 Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
I feel like the egg allowed Slark to just run around and pick people off.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I feel like we enabled, like we alley-ooped. You know what I mean? Like we threw the ball up there for Slark to dunk it.
Okay.
But we definitely weren't you needed us, but we weren't the reason we won the game.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'll say.
All right. I think that's going to wrap it up for this counterattack. Unless you got anything else you want to add.
I don't like anything about you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I feel kind of the same way. I'm looking forward to this little break we get from each other.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. A good weekend without you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Really? What are you doing?
No, I'm gonna play Dota this weekend. That's what I'm gonna do.
Not gonna hang with me?
I mean, maybe I might go see Logan.
I want to see Logan.
Yeah, so there's that. And Get Out looks really good too.
Yeah.
Jordan Peele's movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead.
Okay. Big thank you guys.
Whoa, you're in the We Like Dota chat?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Do we need to get like a private investigator to see if there's been any collusion between Defense of the Patients and We Like Dota?
I can't be in the We Like Dota chat. I'm also in the Wikipedia chat.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm in all these Discords.
Wow. Okay. Special investigator incoming.
Yeah, I'd
No, I'm just joking.
I'd advise if you guys want to join the Wikipedia chat. They're really cool. You can see how the sausage gets made, so to speak.
I feel like you should definitely use a different term from here on out.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, nothing.
That's what it is.
Let's go ahead and get out of here.
Big thank you to everybody who showed up to the Saturday Patreon stream that we did last weekend. It was a blast. It is why you got that hungover Proudland episode that you got on Monday.
You weren't hungover. I was blasted.
I know,
hungover.
but exactly, and that's why that episode wound up feeling like a hangover episode, is because I had nothing prepped.
Oh man, but I still am recovering.
Got a cool Faceless Void build out of it, so that's all that matters in my life.
Did you see that I went on a tear with Faceless Void?
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, I did.
How was it?
Played him safely and offlane and wrecked. Did the whole Lincoln Sphere thing. It was really cool.
So
wow, why do you have to log out? Huh? Something to hide on that Discord?
Oh no, just because I want to be able to log in back when I get home.
Oh, you can log in on multiple computers.
I'm trying to close the show and close out so I can go get my
I feel like there's some shady
done,
shit going on right here. But all right.
So anyway, big thank you guys to all of you guys for that. I have
Just start over.
I have
big thank you to what now?
Everybody at the Patreon stream on Saturday. I have messaged all of the winners for the mouse pads, the .p t-shirts, and the SteelSeries mouse. We will be ordering those things this week and sending those out to all of you. Some of you are international, so you may be getting that a little bit later.
And we have to go through We Love Fines, so I'm sorry about that. Yeah. I hope you get your product.
We will order it and send you the confirmation of the order.
You'll get the confirmation.
So that you can see it.
But we will not fight on your behalf to get the product to you.
The reason
I'm just joking.
The reason we have not ordered it thus far is because we just got the .p bank account opened.
And the card's got to get charged, guys. Sorry. Like, we can't.
Yes, that as well.
Like, we're giving away a GTX 1060 as well to any patron. So if you want to get in on that, make sure you get in on the March Patreon. Defense the page or Patreon.com. Yeah, so basically every dollar gets you a raffle ticket for a GTX 1060
that we'll do the drawing probably the first of the month.
Yep.
Probably the first of April, not the end of March.
A dollar a raffle ticket.
That's right. So let's see. Oh, we should also plug the first week of April for the $1,000 reward. We're going to be doing a switcheroo week.
Also, I feel like wait. I don't want to do counterattack with Ursi.
Counterattack won't be you and Ursi. Counterattack will be Ursi and Proud. That's the switcheroo week. Switcheroo week, and here's how switcheroo week will look. Monday Proudland will be me and Ursi. Tuesday Q&A.
That's going to be shit.
That's going to be a great, it may be the best Proudland ever.
It's not.
Tuesday Q&A will be me and Proud. Wednesday, I don't know what we're going to do with Wednesday. We got to talk about Wednesday.
I'm going to do an interview on Wednesday.
Okay.
We should have saved that Swindles one. Because then it would have worked perfectly for the
We'll figure out what we're going to do with Wednesday. Thursday, we're going to do you and me doing Theorycraft Thursday. So the best Theorycraft Thursday
I feel like
Thursday
I got to
ever.
do another stream for the $1,000. Another 6 hour. I just said that. I'm going to go get balloons and poppers again.
Oh my God. And then Friday,
it's $1,000. It's double. And we're only doing a switcheroo week? Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. That's not fair.
Oh my God. We talked about this before.
Nope. I'm doing a stream. Whether you guys join me or not, I'm doing a 6 hour stream. It's going to be way more hype than that one. We're going to schedule it for some time. We'll do it in April.
You don't have a budget for giveaways, so sorry.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I can create my budget wherever I want to. Because guess who owns more of the company than you?
By 1%.
Yeah. Yeah. Me.
Because of all those odd percentages we had to hand out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no.
And I feel like I can rally the shareholders.
I think I'm going to have a chat with the shareholders beforehand about how we don't have a budget for more giveaways. Not until the next month of Patreon.
Well, we're going to do
Plus, we got the 1,500 griper goal that we hit.
We're going to, and then 2,000
I think 2,000 is where you should, I would
Ursulinity?
love. Ursulinity? Yeah.
Lenacinity?
Lenacinity. That one's probably the best.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, and we're gonna beat him up, or we'll get him real drunk or something.
Hashtag Lena cosplay 2017.
Yeah. Whatever we have to do to get that little boy into a Lena cosplay, we'll make sure it happens. And
it's gonna be
if
awesome.
He thinks he can fight back, like, let's be real.
We'll just get him a little bit drunk.
Oh, we don't even need to get him drunk. Let's just get some. What do they put on the cloth when they pass people out? You know what I mean? Where they put it on
chloroform.
Chloroform. We'll do chloroform, and then
chloroform's actually very dangerous.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. The movies always make it look like, I just dab a little chloroform, I'll put it over their mouth, and they instantly go to sleep. Yeah. 1, you have to hold it there for quite a while, and 2, if you hold it there for too long, they fucking die.
Well, we'll read about how long you hold it there.
Yeah, we'll do some real serious research.
It really well, and we'll make sure he doesn't die. But if he does, we'll dress his dead body up
as Lena for his funeral.
We'll take him around with us at TI until he starts to stink.
Weekend at Bernie style?
Yeah, Weekend at Bernie style until he starts to stink.
And then we'll do the hand thing where I wave, but he also waves.
Weekend at TI with dead Arsenity as Lena.
Oh my god. This went a really dark direction really fast. I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead and close this.
All right, if you guys want to find us, defensethepatients.com is the website. I think I mentioned this on the Ma episode that, God, we're going to have to figure some shit out because of that mix-up week. But we're going to send out, I think, the staging link, maybe. We were talking about this for some folks, for patrons exclusively to see what the new website's going to look like.
No, we're not.
Oh, we're not? Okay.
No, we're not going to do that.
Oh, then I lied. But yeah, so we got the new website coming. It's looking good. We got a storefront getting worked in there. It's gonna be sweet. defensethepatients.com. That's where you can check us out. Go see the old website while it lasts. Follow us on Twitter at @p_show. Email us all those delicious .p Q&A Tuesday Q&A questions to defensethepatients@gmail.com.
And don't forget your raffle ticket for the GTX 1060. $1 gets you a ticket.
Yep, that's patreon.com/defensethepatients to donate there. Also, you can call and leave a voicemail if you can't.
Okay, this has been way too long.
It hasn't been that long. 888-410-7150 is the voicemail to leave Q&A questions.
Danny's social security number, 543-672-9991.
That's weirdly close. No, I'm
really?
just kidding. No.
Oh, I was like, whoa, dude, I'm sorry. I shouldn't. All right.
Joke. I don't even think that was the right number of digits.
Okay. Okay, good. All right.
Let's see. There was one. So coming up next week.
Oh my god.
I got an interview with Baumi coming out. I know he's a controversial figure in the Dota 2 community. He's an interesting guy. It's interesting to hear his take on some of those controversies. We delved into them. I asked him about them. He also offered some...
I thought Mott was next.
I think Mott will be after Baumi. We could potentially rearrange it, but either way, or Mott, join me from Moonduck. He also, both of them offered some really great advice for people who are looking to get into content creation. Baumi more so.
It's hard as fuck and requires a lot of time, and you'll never see success. That's my advice.
I would say Ma actually gave maybe some of the most specific advice I've ever gotten.
Really?
Yeah, about in particular if you want to get into casting. His advice at the end of that episode was definitely the most specific I've ever gotten.
Casting coaching?
Oh yeah, I do remember that a while back. Yeah,
I wonder if he still does that.
But yeah,
because what if I just became a caster and was like, "Fuck .p."
Good for you. Good.
And
on
I
you.
just talked shit on .p and became like the next who's a big caster?
I don't know, Mott.
I became the next Mott and was like, who sucks .p and just secretly told everybody. And then you guys squandered everything away. All right, close the show. God damn.
Anyway, both of those are great interviews. They're coming up in the next couple of weeks. I think that's it. Discord.gg/.p.
Holy
More than
shit,
anything,
dude,
every time you do this,
every plug.
It just makes me, because you slow the plugs, you make me want to go even slower with them. I gotta say.
Well, that's pretty rude to do to our audience.
Find Roland at .p_Roland.
No, I'm actually going to be deleting that account.
No.
I never use it.
You should use it. You should tweet out your personal
I don't have enough
thoughts.
time.
Yes, you have plenty of time. You have plenty of time.
It's hard for me.
I use @p_Cyphus. I tweet out.
I never tweet.
Go follow me. I'll tweet to you.
Maybe I should ask the old Donald where he finds the time. I mean, he's president of the United States, and he'll
go ask. Send him a tweet from @p_Roland. All right.
Where do you find the time to tweet? Because I can't. I sure as fuck can't do it. All right.
Okay, that'll be it. Until next time, this is Cyphus for Roland saying good luck, Godspeed.